Oh, hello adventurers. This video is another prep video. I'm looking at some different cameras and camera mounts on my bike, and I picked up an Insta360 1X. There's various versions of these 360 cameras. This is a 360 camera. It's got lenses on both sides. There's the GoPro Fusion. There's the Insta360 1R, which I could have got. I chose the 1X. It was a fair bit cheaper, and I think there's going to be 8K versions coming out soon, so I didn't want to lock in to a very expensive 5.7K camera, which this is, and also the sort of conditions I put these things through when you're adventure riding, as you'll see in this video. I didn't want to go and fork out a whole bunch of money to damage it, and you'll see that yeah, if you have anything go wrong, the lenses on this, as you can see, poke out of both sides, and as you'll see throughout this video, that can be a problem. Yeah, I actually damaged this and then worked out how to fix it, so part of this video will be about seeing this damaged and fixing it, and then also just seeing the sort of shots you can get. So getting onto that, the sort of shots you can get from this are like nothing else that you'll be able to do with any other type of camera, not without a lot of trouble or another person. So very interesting shots. So let's get on to the video. And yeah, wasn't a good day for me, but I learned a lot. It's what it's all about, right? You have to video and show the mistakes, the disasters, as well as the good times. It's all a learning experience. So let's get on with it. So first off, I'll show you before I start the sort of footage you can get from these 360 cameras. It's, you know, very interesting. You basically are shooting the whole sphere, the whole 360, everything around you, and you can pretty well go and then do a number of tricks and little planet and this sort of thing. But it basically allows you to look afterwards in post and take a 16:9 1080p shot of anywhere within the sphere, so anywhere in the 360 that you want to after the fact. So let's crank up the software, and I'll give you a quick preview of that, and then yeah, you'll sort of get an idea of what I'm doing. So let's open up the app, which comes, you can just download it free with the camera. So we'll open up the app, and then we just need to download some footage. So let's find, let's have a look, and we'll find maybe we'll try these top 3, which will give you an idea. And maybe the first one I took today, this one here, we'll open those up, and that'll give us an idea. So we're just downloading those files. And this is downloading them from the camera, and then pretty well stays connected with the camera the whole time as a drive. You can actually download them. So here we go. This is what we call an equi-rectangular view. So this is the full file, but what we want to do is go to free capture, because that allows us to basically take our 1080p piece out of it. So we click free capture, and then I'll just reduce that timeline in distance so I can get to where we were riding. So let's get to here. So if I play here, you can see we're riding along, and I can actually then, it's on top of my helmet, the camera, I can then pretty well move around in 3D sort of space wherever I want to, and take a you know, a 1080 frame. So if I want it to be looking at the front, I just leave it there. If I want it to be looking at the back, I'll leave it there. If I want to do a tiny planet type thing, I can do this sort of thing, so it looks like you're riding on a little planet of it, planet Earth, with the clouds around it. This is the sort of things you can do with, that's a top down. Then I can go to a top up, And I think if here I might go into the pines, do I? I think I turn around, so let's just fast forward to when I'm in the pines. Here we go. So if I fast forward to there, I'm in this pine here, so I can look around at any time and take whatever shot, and I can also look straight up. I can zoom right out. You know, I can pretty well do whatever. So that's the sort of thing you can do, and then there's some other really cool stuff like the mount disappears. So as you can see, there looks like there's nothing. You can just see a GoPro mount there, but it looks like there's nothing holding that onto my helmet. And it looks independent of the helmet. It's actually on a GoPro mount on that helmet. So let's get out in the field and let's have a look at what it can really do. So we're out on our way out to the pines where I can do some testing on this camera, this 360 camera, and get some really interesting shots. It's just about like having a camera crew or a camera car out with you when you're solo. So yeah, should be able to get some real interesting things. So we'll head on down to the pines, and then I will get set up and show you exactly what sort of mounts and how I'm going to work this camera. I'm not going to have it on all the time. It's only going to be for some certain shots here and there, just to get a bit of you know, something different, something unique. So anyway, we'll head to the right and catch you once I get to a spot where I will be setting it up. This is the entry to the pines, and as you can see, people dump all that rubbish here. It's actually illegal, but it doesn't seem to stop a lot of people making a mess. It's actually probably as bad as it's ever been. So I've got the 360 camera on the top of the helmet, which means I can take any shot from anywhere that I like and do that in post, so afterwards, or even do a VR style thing with goggles and all that. But yeah, so I can look left, I can look right, I can look up, and I can look down on top of the bike or on top of my helmet. So it's gives you a lot of sort of really interesting shots, and I've got some other mounts that I'll show as I go through each one of them to have a look at what shots I can get. So we'll go in here and have a look. Whoop. So we'll keep on going down this way and we'll see what we can find. So I'm out in the pines here just testing out this camera. I'm just going to show you the mount, in the pines, just going to show you the mount. We just saw the one on top of the helmet, which is a pretty cool view. I'm going to show you this new mount and what how I've got it and what it can do. So I'll just turn the camera on and I'll show you something really cool. So that camera's now running and you can see I can grab this pole and you can't see it. That's I don't know how they do that, but there's some definitely some neat processing going on. So I can grab this pole, I've got it in my hand and I can move it around and you can't see that. So pretty interesting. That leads to some pretty cool effects, as you'll see. So let's have a look at exactly how that's mounted. It's pretty windy out here, so I'm hoping that this is coming through, but basically I've got it just clamped on here. I've sort of got a round mount arrangement here to get the right angle and give me some adjustment. And I've just actually used a cable tie for here. Pretty simple, and that's pretty sturdy. And that's a pretty sturdy pole. It's a 3-meter pole and I'm only using the fatter sections. And then the camera sits out on the front about in line with the bike, but at about eye level. And you'll see the effect that can give you. Obviously you wouldn't ride around on the road like this, but just for getting a unique shot out in the field, I wouldn't have this on there at all the time. I just do it when I wanted to get a unique shot going through some terrain or just to make videos more interesting. So let's get on the bike and we'll take a look at what that looks like. So as you can see, that's whipping around a fair bit. I'm not sure you guys are seeing what this is doing to the video before I am, because I'm obviously on the bike, but it's got really good stabilization, so we'll see what that So guys, that was obviously a little bit of a disaster. I'm actually going to try and repair that lens. It's got a little scratch on it. Don't know how deep it is, but when I get back I'll have a look and see if because I'm not going to buy another one. Well, not that I couldn't, I just don't want to buy another one a few days after buying one. So I'm going to try and repair this, because at the end of the day it's going to be put through its paces anyway. I'm sure the lenses are plastic, so I'm going to try and polish out the scratch and then give it a test after that and see what it looks like, and then go from there, because I'd rather not have to buy another one. So let's go back to the house and I'll work out what I've got for some compound for doing that. I've got some ideas already, so let's get back to the house and have a look around. So you can see there that it's just scratched that lens a little bit. It's actually not as bad as I thought. I'm not too worried about the rest of it, but I'll have to try and polish that out. So what I'm going to do is I've got myself a microfiber cloth, and I'm going to try toothpaste to start with, because toothpaste is basically got like a polishing compound in it, to see if I can get that out. I don't think it's as bad as I originally thought, so let's give that a crack and see if we can get it back out and tested. So I've polished with some car polish and some toothpaste and pretty well got it out. You sort of got to do the whole lens as a circle, and also it takes obviously off the lens coating. I think there's a lens coating, you can see they're slightly different, but it doesn't seem to affect it. And that's not too bad. So I'll go back out on the bike, and obviously I know what happened to that mount, so that was yeah, just unfortunate. Wasn't expecting that, but we'll go out and I won't go back to the vines. I'll just the pines. I'll just go around here because I run out of time, and yeah, show you those shots that I was going to show you. So I'll go now and find some quiet back streets close to home, and try these couple of mounting ideas out and show you what they might look like. I won't go back out in the pines at this point in time. It's pretty windy now actually, so I'll just find some sort of back streets down here somewhere. Park under this tree. Okay, so let's try this again without it hopefully falling off this time, even though it's a little bit wonky. Maybe I'll put another cable tie on there, but as you can see, I'm holding the pole and you can't see it. The camera takes it out, so I might just stick another couple of cable ties on this now that I'm a bit worried about it falling off. And just to make sure that doesn't happen, and then we'll go for a spin. Okay, so let's go. It's a cul-de-sac. should be a pretty interesting view of the front of the bike, and you shouldn't see the pole, and it should give quite a unique perspective. It'll be interesting to see if I've done a good job on that lens and how much, if any, you know, artifacting or anything's going on there. Maybe I'll have to keep on working on that, but yeah, we'll see how that pans out. But now I should, I'll put it somewhere else on the bike and we can take a look at some other different shots. So maybe if I turn right up here, we can drive around in here. Is it this one? No, it must be the next one. Park under this tree. So I'm going to stick it on the back here now. I'm going to try it out across here, if you can see that, and tie it to here with some cable ties. I'm just using cable ties. If I can tighten that up, and then I can I might twist that. Which way will I go on that one? I'll try that way. Through these loops here. See what sort of view I've got. Come on. There we go. We'll just have a look at that on the phone. See what sort of view. It's on the right side of the road, so let's try that. Press play. Okay, so let's find a little back street. So that should be quite an interesting angle, that one from the side there. You just have to make sure obviously you don't go near trees when you're out in the bush, but just for a quick view, that's something a little bit different. That one from the side. Okay, we'll turn around this roundabout and head back. So this should give quite good perspectives when we're out adventure riding, when we get a chance to stick a camera like this on the bike. And then there's one more view that I'll try. I'll just find a place to pull up. Might just pull up on the footpath here if I can. So we'll try one more view, which will be sticking out, if I can, of the handlebars a little bit. So let's get that changed. I'll see you when we've got that done. And obviously I won't be doing this as much as this when I'm out riding. Turn that around like that. Okay, so let's try that. That's sticking out a little way, but I can have a look on the phone what it looks like. So let's just go around this same place. Okay, let's go. Up here. Okay. Maybe I'll go up here. Turn around here. Here. So that should be a pretty interesting side view, something a bit different. It's just riding around the suburb. Go around this roundabout. Everyone's wondering what's sticking out the side of the bike, no doubt. That's the only thing about doing this. You can't really do it in the city with a thing sticking out. You just got to do it off-road. I think this is going to be one of the ones that I use quite a bit, like this. You can just about stick this thing anywhere, you know, down near the back wheel and all this sort of stuff, to get all sorts of different views. So we'll try one more. Which I think I'll put it on the back here, sticking at the back on those two eyes. So we'll get a couple of cable ties, and as you can see, you can pretty well point it wherever you want, so you can just leave it running the whole time and it's taking video of everything all at the same time. And you can have that obviously as far back as you want, so maybe we'll have it a little bit further back. Put that a bit tighter. Oh, that's not actually gripping, that one. Must have that the wrong way around. there you go guys. There's a bit of a preview of some new camera angles, and just getting prepped up. Luckily that I did get prepped up, because that mount would have failed on the ride and I wouldn't have been able to fix the camera. So that's why you do preparation. Now I know more about the camera, and more about mounting, and more about all that sort of stuff, so it's always good to do some dry runs and different things. Pity that the camera had to hit the ground, but oh well, I've learned a fair bit even from that. So let's get back to putting this together. So I'll sign off and catch you guys later.